I believe in me.
I believe in me.
I believe in you.
I believe in you.
Stand strong. You are powerful.
Stand strong. You are inspiring.
We are fighters. We are ambitious.
We are extraordinary. We are conquerors. Simply Straight Talk, our voices will be heard.
This is Simply Straight Talk. Tune in now, you don't want to miss out. Real conversation, plenty motivation. Keep you thinking and still entertaining. Yeah, I know that you'll enjoy the Midos Free Your Voice. It's your choice. Hosted by Reggie B, but you already know. And you gotta check them out and how we roll. Hey, ain't nothing off the table. Give it to you straight. Changing your mindset, talking past mistakes. You ain't gotta wait, time to take off. This is Simply Straight Talk.
I'm Melissa, and this is the Simply Straight Talk podcast, where we engage in solution-based conversations with tips on how to overcome and move past the challenges and struggles we face in life. So join in and let's show the world you got what it takes. It's showtime. Let's hop on this train of motivation.
What's up, everybody, and welcome to another episode of the Simply Straight Talk Show. Listen, this is season 12. This is the first episode of season 12. So I gotta give some thanks, and I gotta recognize, and I just say I appreciate everybody who continues to listen to the show. Thank you for your support. I really appreciate it. I'm so glad that you guys are enjoying the topics, enjoying the discussions. I know I said the break wasn't going to be as long, but technically, it was a little shorter than the last one, but we back on top of everything, and now we're going to get everything going. Now, to kick this show off, a couple days ago, there was an interesting conversation with some of the listeners who joined in for like a little bit of just a chat, catch up and everything. And a couple topics just really kept coming up that everybody kept saying, can you add this to this season's show? Can you talk about this? And it was really just a really great conversation within the chat. So I said, you know what? Why don't I start the season off with that conversation? And basically, I didn't share a lot of my thoughts or views during the chat. So I want to take the time to sort of share my views and thoughts right now. Just to give you a little backstory here, during the chat, once again, thank you for everybody. It was quite a few people that joined. I was really shocked. I appreciate that, everybody that tuned in. But one topic that we really sort of kind of just stayed on was something that you see really being promoted right now across YouTube, across TikTok. I mean, you just see it on pretty much every social media platform. You're seeing it on TV to where there is this big push for finding love abroad, finding love outside of the United States. Now, this has been going on for a while, long before it sort of hit the social platforms like it is now. But there has always been this push that men should really look outside, basically, of the United States if you want to find a woman that's going to treat you with some respect. Now, I'm just saying what the push has been. That has been always the push that has really kicked up. And I think I noticed it maybe like 8 or 9 years ago. There was this guy named Charles. He had a YouTube channel. He was really pushing Brazil, and other people were really pushing Brazil and other Asian companies, Asian countries. There was really this push to actually have men consider going and meeting women from other countries. Now, me, myself, maybe there is, but I have not seen it. But I have yet to see anything that tells women to go and seek men outside of, the United States. I haven't seen it. There could be. I don't know. I'm not looking for that, so I can't say if it is or isn't. But the thing about it is, for men, there has been a push, and a lot of men have said that they have actually visited other countries. Some men go there for fun, others go there for dating, and they end up meeting somebody, and they find that there's a difference. There's a real difference, and they feel how they are treated by women from other countries versus from women here in the United States, the Western world. So it is a huge difference. And because of that difference, it kind of sparked, a lot of back and forth. It's kind of created a little bit of tension and conflict between men and women, especially here in the United States, because when you hear the stories of why some men say you're better off finding a woman from another country than the United States, I can understand why, the women here in the United States will be a little bit offended or be offended in general by it. I never believe in categorizing everybody just in one group. But in our chat, when people was bringing this up, and I was basically just really listening and just reading what people were saying, a lot of people are really divided by it. They're really divided on the fact of, by finding someone from a different country, what is it that you can honestly say makes the difference if a man finds a woman in Asia or in Brazil, in Mexico, in South America? What is it that makes a difference by going to another country versus finding a woman here? Now, I have traveled. I've been to Saudi Arabia. I've been to Thailand. I've been to Philippines. I've been to Korea. I've been to Japan. I've been to Africa. So I've been to a lot of these countries where people are saying to go. I've been to Australia, Panama, Canada, Russia. So I've been to these places. So I feel like this is something that I can sort of speak on, but I'm not speaking on behalf of the women from these countries or anything about these countries. I'm just telling you based on what I've seen in comparison to what people are saying versus Western world women versus women from these other countries. Now, here's the thing about it. Tensions were getting a little hot in the chat because people were kind of, like I said, they're divided on it. There was definitely some women who spoke their mind, and they were really offended because they felt like women here were being insulted and saying that they're arrogant, they're stuck up. I don't think that's all women. Of course, you can say that some women are like that. Some men are like that. But here's the thing. There seems to be a stronger push in the United States, and this covers men and women, for the whole image and luxury look. You've heard me talk about this. You heard me say this. Most of America live their lives trying to follow an image, and most of the things they are seeking is financial and materialistic. That's not all people, but that is the majority of the mindsets here in the United States. It's about luxurious living, money. That's it. So it creates a bit of a conflict when you have people trying to actually find love, because a lot of people here is pretty much how much you got, what can you give? And that's it. It's like, what are you bringing to the table? That's the attitude of dating in America today. What are you bringing to the table? I have a doctrines. You don't have a doctrines, you're not worthy of me. I'm making 5 figures. I'm making $89,000 a year, $100,000 a year. If you're not doubling that, then you're not worthy of my time. So there seems to be a bit of a difference, whereas you may meet someone from another country to where maybe the standards are not based on that same criteria of you making, 100,000, 6 figures or whatever. And I'm not saying that's all women across the country. I'm just saying from my impression, when I traveled overseas, it just wasn't about what are you bringing to the table. Now, of course, it had to be about who you are as a person. If we clicked, if things worked out. But when you're talking about what people are looking for in the Western world versus what people are looking for in other countries, you're definitely going to find that there is a difference. There is a difference in the criteria that they are saying that a person needs to meet. Here, there's a big thing about I don't cook for you unless you're my wife. I don't do this unless you're my husband. If you don't have a ring on your finger, then you don't get this, you don't get that. Now, you've heard me say before that I do believe that there should be levels to the things you do. Now, as a man, you're supposed to provide. You're supposed to protect. You're supposed to be the one that ensure provisions are made for the woman, for the family. As a woman, many women are taught that when you go into a relationship, you are supposed to be the loving and the nurturing person. Now, the only problem with all this is, as times have changed, women have decided that, no, I no longer want somebody to provide. I can provide for myself. And sometimes there's a mixed message in that, in which is, yes, I want somebody to provide, but I can provide for myself, but you need to provide. So there's this bit of a conflict because on the other side, men are saying, well, listen, if you can provide for yourself and you keep telling me that you can provide for yourself, then I don't need to provide for you. So stop talking about providing. We'll go Dutch. You pay yours, I pay mine. So basically, men are adopting the mindset, or some men are adopting the mindset of our relationship is really just something of convenience like roommates. It's just an elevated level of friends with benefits. We're not going to tie anything together. We're not going to connect anything together. This is just simply a roommate situation. It's convenient for right now. And now we have men who don't want to get married because we all know about that. The United States, the way the laws are set up, the loss factor if things doesn't work out. Whereas when you're meeting someone overseas, it is sort of more like, I'm looking for long term. Now, one thing that came up in the conversation was that women from other countries have much lower expectation because they live in such poverty-stricken areas. That is a lie. It is so untrue. You'll be surprised how many women who live in these other countries are quite successful, but they are still feminine, they are still vocal, and they are still respectful. So that whole thing about them, because they're so poverty-stricken, they'll take anything that comes their way, is not true. It's not that every woman who lives in another country wants to come to America. I have met women who were really nice, wanted to meet somebody, but do not want to come and live in America. So that's not the case with them. They all don't want to live in America. So this just brings up a lot of tension between men and women, because I feel like a lot of men here in this country, United States, is kind of like, I'm done with dating here. I'm so tired of it. I'd rather just go and meet somebody. If we like each other, we click and we see where it goes. And then on the other hand, you got the same thing with women. Like, hey, I'm tired of the games. I'm tired of trying to figure men out. Men tired of trying to figure women out. Women tired of feeling like because I've achieved something, it's making me seem like I'm unworthy. And men feeling like, oh, well, you're so independent, then maybe you want to be on your own. You don't really want a partner. I want to be a man. Well, I want to be a woman. It's just so confusing because people have diluted the whole relationship situation so much with political views and political thoughts and this whole feminism thing that it's all lost its purpose. The purpose of getting in a relationship has just washed away into the mud because people are not trying to get into relationships anymore. They're trying to get into a networking business deal with somebody that they can have sexual intercourse with. That's it. That's what people are looking for now. People are not really trying to get into a relationship because relationships now, as we've talked about before, and I will say it again, many people who get into relationships now are just simply not in it to win it. They're not. And that goes for men and it goes for women. They're not in it to win it. They're in it to progress and bounce. And that's unfortunate because when you meet somebody who really does want to find somebody and build a relationship, build a home, have a life with somebody and grow old with that person, and they run into one of these progress and bounce people, it causes that person to get hurt, become hesitant, and it can create a cycle where it passes on to somebody else. Nobody wants to build in relationships anymore. They want you to come with the house. They want you to come with the car. They want you to come with the money. They want you to come fully loaded to pamper and take care of them and make them live a life of like they are just a rich and famous. But what can you do? What can you do? So is finding love abroad the answer for men and women? Will women have a better chance at love when they meet somebody else from another country? Will men have a better chance at love? And we have to understand something, because this is something that came up because there was a video that was released, maybe about the past year. And we sort of talked about that, where this guy actually married a woman in Thailand. And in the video, he was really talking about how she treats him and the things she does, the life they have. And it was a very interesting video. It was really interesting to watch the interaction and the things he was saying and what she was doing. And we're going to talk about how people responded to that video when we come back after this break.
We'll be back with your host, Reggie, on Simply Straight Talk.
Hey, you guys. This is Bourgeois Latte with Latte Java Drips Radio, where we serve it cool while making it hot. We serving drips and giving you some podcasts and Java vibes of independent artists from all over the world. So head on over to www.lattejavodrips.com/LJD Radio to hear what we are brewing.
We're back with the conversation starter and the voice that works harder. Your host, Reggie.
Hey, everybody. Welcome back. Thank you for sticking with us through the break, man. Listen, today we're talking about, can you find love abroad? Now, when we left off the show, I was telling you about a video that a guy posted of his wife, which is in Thailand. Now, the thing about it is, when this video was made, I was really curious to read the comments below. I just wanted to see what people were going to say. Now, most of the men were like, first of all, let me tell you what the video was so you got a better understanding and you can actually picture what I'm talking about as I say it. Basically, he went to Thailand. He met this woman. They got married. Now, he provides for her. He makes sure everything is taken care of as far as the bills, the house, and all this type stuff. But she makes breakfast every morning. He taught her how to make grits. She started cooking him grits. When he comes home, he's working on stuff. She lets him do his little work, and basically, like when she folds the clothes are neat, like nicely folded. She cooks breakfast. She brings him little snacks while he's working. She's about him eating healthy, and she was just doing little things like that. The laundry, the clothes. He said she takes care of the house. Now, in the video, you can see her doing certain things. You can see her folding and putting clothes up, and, she's bringing him snacks and he's sitting down working on something. She looks at his hands. She starts sort of edging his nails to make sure his nails look good. Now, a lot of people, we already have this thing in this world to where when women see other women doing that, they immediately go off and saying that, oh, she's being controlled. That's like a slave, ... When men see other men bringing a woman flowers or just being caring, it's like, oh my God, he's a simp. So it's just, of course there was some backlash. And I remember the same thing happened when this NFL player's wife basically did a video of showing how she likes to do things for her husband. Here's the thing. No matter what a man or woman likes to do for their husband, as long as it's not harming them, degrading them, or, just saying abusive to them, it's their relationship. It's their relationship. So you don't have to like it. You don't have to be like, oh, why is she doing that? Why is he pulling out her chair and this, and this? It's none of your business. But back to the video. But in other words, here's the thing. Now, I can understand why he made this video and why he feels the way he feels about her. Now, some women automatically probably caught into the fact of, oh, he pays all the bills. There are men here in America who pay all the bills and they do not get that type of treatment. I'm just putting that out there. I'm going to keep it 100 with you. I'm keeping it 100. There are women who pay all the bills and has a man at home who does not do that. And if they do it, there's complaining. Because many women today will not cook. But anyway, that's another show for another day. The thing about it is, when you are in a relationship, a big part of it is what are you doing for your partner? How do you make your partner feel like they belong to you, like you belong to them? And I think one of the things I've noticed that when I traveled overseas, now this is no disrespect. This is nothing saying, I'm not putting any American woman in a category or saying any American woman is bad, because we have some wonderful women here in this country who are strong, they are intelligent, and they don't mind being a good woman to their man. And you have good men who are intelligent. They're not simps. They're not weak, but they like to care for their woman. So the thing is, when you have this type of behavior, why do people feel like it's wrong? But the other thing is that I want to get out before I forget what I'm trying to get to is when people see this, they just don't seem to understand it now. They don't feel like it's natural. They don't feel like it's something that should be appreciated. I think the biggest problem that I have seen, and I'm telling you, this is just my personal experience. When I traveled overseas, the women are very much more attentive. They are very much more, attentive. I would call it, they are more attentive and nurturing than the women I personally have known here. So I'm not speaking for all American women, just, my encounters. So in my encounters here versus what I have observed there, they are more attentive. They are more, they're more caring. Like there was one young lady and we were just friends. It was nothing sexual. It was just friends. And, it was just different because I used to always think if I've never met a woman who would do, and this woman is just a friend, like just a cool friend. But when we went out, it was like, oh, he gets this, he gets this. I'm like, how is it that this woman who I only meet when I come for business knows and remembers what it is I like? And yet when I'm with women that I'm actually with, they don't know. They have no clue. So there is a difference. There's a difference. And I think it's because a lot of it is just the culture and upbringing. And I think in America, I think that the whole thing of being, because you can still be caring for the home without being weak or without being controlled. Because I see nothing wrong with a woman caring for the home. She wants to make sure her man looks good. She wants to make sure her man eats right. And it's the same way. I see nothing wrong with a man who's like, oh, okay, I got to make sure my wife does this. My wife is getting ready to come home. So you know what, fellas, I got to bounce. I got to go take care of my lady, make sure she's good. I want to spend some time with her. Nothing wrong with that. Absolutely nothing. Hey, I want to take her to the movies. She wants to go see this, the Shin Young show. You know what I'm saying? She wants to go to this musical. She likes it. I want to take her to it. I want to share that with her. I don't see anything wrong with that. But in America, we seem to actually, sort of just hate on people who want to do for their spouse. Especially because there's this whole mindset now of if you're folding clothes or washing dishes, or anything like that, cooking breakfast, putting the plate down in front of your spouse, that means that you are weak. That you're weak and you're weak-minded. No. If you love somebody, you want to make sure that they're taken care of. If I was in a relationship and I had a woman and I was off work that day and didn't have to work and she's coming home, why am I waiting for her to come home to cook? Why am I waiting for her to come home and clean? Why the fuck can't I clean the house? And why the fuck can't I cook and have something ready? And like, baby, go relax. I got this. Why do I have to prove myself to be a man by saying that the only way I can be a man is by waiting for her to come home and cook? I don't fucking understand that. I'm still working. I'm still making money. The thing about it is you do for each other. You do for each other. And I do think that in America, that's sort of been thrown out the window. The whole concept of doing for each other, because of the whole thing of the classifications. You know, many women consider themselves to be boss bitches. You know, I'm a boss bitch. I don't do dishes. I don't cook. You're not a child. I'm an independent woman. And then you got men over here who with the egos and now the retaliatory attitude of, you know what? Well, since you a boss bitch, I ain't got to do shit for you. I ain't taking you out. We split. I'm a man. I'm going with the fellas. I'm going to do this. You know what I'm saying? You're in a relationship. Those type of mentalities make both of you bitches. Because you're supposed to be about each other. You're supposed to be about the relationship. You're supposed to be about two people coming together to make each other's lives better, add happiness to each other's lives, and also build something together so you both have a life that you can share together, create memories. But everybody's running around with this whole I'm in control, I'm the boss attitude, and nobody's winning. So can you find love abroad? See, that's a really good question, because I think most men, because I'm going to speak from the male perspective, because this is what I've seen from some men, that some men honestly feel like they would get treated better if they meet a woman outside of the United States. Now, is that to say that all women in the United States are bad? No. It's just that they've just had a run of women that they've interacted with to where they felt bad. They felt discarded. They didn't feel like they was being treated or they weren't made, put it like this, I'm going to get my words tied. They were not made to feel like they were a person of value in the relationship. And I think that's the key thing. A lot of men and women don't make their partner feel like they're valued. They make their coworkers, they make family members feel more valued than the person they're supposed to be going home with every night, laying down with and sleeping with and building a family with. Everybody feels valued in some way but them. Because you got to admit, it's a really good feeling to come home and lay down, or come home to someone and they greet you with a kiss. To come home to someone who knows what you like, they're fixing your food, be it the male or the female, whoever is doing it, whoever is in the best position to cook or provide that day. But we're in a society where nobody wants to do anything because everything is considered toxic. Everything is considered overly masculine. Everything is considered to be unapproved by the boss bitches of the world. So what is it that you want? I think in some ways, in order for people to understand that a lot of people are going overseas and meeting other people, because a lot of today's men and women in this country are not humble. Everybody is turning masculine in the way they speak, in the way they talk. It's not just a male thing. Women are becoming more masculine than men. I've seen some women overseas who were so feminine, but they would beat the fuck out of you and go right back to being feminine. And they were women. They carried themselves like women. They didn't need the whole masculine thing. They knew who they were. And we have women here in America like that too. And the sad part is The good women in this country are being categorized with the whole woke, modern feminist women who are creating a false mindset in regards to relationships. So they're being categorized in that. And it's not fair to them because they don't believe in some of the stuff that some of these women are saying. And just like some men are being categorized, like a lot of men being categorized with some of these bad men who get out here, act like jerks, they treat women like crap, and they are being categorized into that. And they don't deserve it. So what's the answer? The answer is, y'all stick with us, but we about to take a break and we'll be right back with the final thoughts of today's show.
You're listening to Simply Straight Talk.
Hello, Simply Straight Talk family. If you are enjoying this episode, at the end of the show, don't forget to subscribe, rate, and leave a review. And why not share this with a friend? Also, visit our blog at newlifenewmind.com, where you can find additional articles on more great topics. Stay tuned. The show will continue right after this message.
Are you ready for the straight truth? Reggie, what's the final word for today?
Hey everybody, and welcome to the final thoughts of today's show. Today we were talking about, can you find love abroad? Finding love abroad. You know, we live in a very opinionated society, but also a society that restricts what you can say. We live in a cancel culture. And today I feel like we are really just canceling each other out. Men and women are canceling each other for no reason at all. A lot of people have been talking about finding love abroad. What's the answer? Can you find love abroad? Absolutely. Yes, you can. Just like you can find love right here in this country. You see, love is based on the individual and taking time to let the process build to understand who you are actually getting into a relationship with. It's having the strength to recognize the signs that a relationship is moving in the right direction. This is a right fit. But it's also being strong enough to acknowledge the fact that a relationship is not moving in the right direction. These are bad signs, and it's time to call it quit before we tie each other together and create nothing but heartache and pain. Do men have a better chance of finding love abroad? I think there are some benefits to both sides. I think, yes, I think you may find women that may be a little bit more humble. And if you like women that are really a little more feminine, you may find it there. But you can also find that here. I think just here, you're going to have to dig through the mud a little bit. And just like women, women, in order to get to that one good apple that's really good for them, not materialistic wise, not financial wise, but emotionally, spiritually, and mentally, finding that right guy, you're going to have to go through the mud as well. Are women better off being single or just having friends with benefits? It really just depends on the individual. Everybody is not built for a relationship. Everybody's not built to be in a relationship. They haven't grown, they haven't matured, and I think that goes for men and women. There are some men and women who really want to be in a relationship, but mentally they don't really understand it. They're not ready for the responsibility, emotionally mainly, to be in a relationship with somebody else. Is the new mindset killing relationships? For this one, I'm going to have to say yes. I do believe that the new mindset that we have that men and women have about each other is really hurting people's potentials to find a good match. We have just such drastic views that paint the opposite sex as such a villain and as such a toxic race, or toxic gender, shall I say, that is really just creating more problems. It's making people adopt fantasies and Disney World visions without understanding the work and the process that it takes to get to that point. So a certain part of me is just kind of like, yeah, I get the new mindset of people wanting to kind of have their own, but I think the overall projection and views of the new mindset that sort of taking over society today is really hurting people's chances at finding a good relationship. Because I think people are not looking for a relationship as far as something to build. They're looking at it for network and business propositions. And I think that's why a lot of people are struggling and finding it hard just to even be in a relationship or meet somebody. Even if they find a good person that will be a great fit, because of the new mindset and the materialistic aspect and preconceived notions of what should already be set in place when they walk into your life, I think that's going to hurt a lot of people. When possibly, if you could just spend 1 year with that person, you'll find that both of you have gained so much more than you could ever expect. Hey, so that's it for today's show, man. I really hope that you appreciate and enjoyed this. I hope you learned something from it. Hey, and share your feedback with me, man. Let me know feedback. Share your feedback with me. Let me know, what did you agree with? What did you disagree with? What do you think about this topic? And thank you for everybody who was in that chat with us. And I'm telling you, it was a great conversation. So I just want to share a little deeper thoughts on my side of it. So I really appreciate it. So thank you, everybody. And thank you for tuning in as we start to kick in with season 12. Yes, Angelique and Melissa will be joining me for parts of the show. They will be coming back. And as always, we look forward to having them here. I give them an open window to come on whenever they feel like it. So, hey, they're always welcome. And people keep asking me, what is it like recording with Angelique and Melissa? Check out my Instagram later today, or by the time you get this, it will be posted. And I'm going to actually post a video so you can see what it's like. All right, look, comment that for you. Hey, y'all be good, man. Y'all stay safe. Peace out.
That's it for this week's episode of the Simply Straight Talk podcast. Be sure to sign up to our email list at simplystraighttalk.com and follow us in your favorite podcast app so that you don't miss our next episode. Wishing you a wonderful day from the Simply Straight Talk crew.
Simply Straight Talk with your host Reggie B. Come on, let's all join in. Free your voice, it's your choice, all right here. Ooh, Simply Straight Talk.